Just checking to make sure this is working. I'm live now. Look, Mom. Cool. Alright, I will keep that open. And hey, depending on when you're coming in here, I'm gonna try to do this again. So last week I did some sculpting, and I ended up finishing that off. Let me show the file. Is that the 17 file? No, this is sculpting with AI. Like, wait, I can't wait to make something worthwhile there. But that is not worthwhile. Must have been the 20th. I think it's 7 days since I did this. Yeah. All right. So let me throw. I don't have the marble here. So I'm going to sculpt today. Again. Let me see. That's the bronze simple. And I don't want the bronze simple. I don't know if I can show this one. I ended up doing this like really cool, like I thought cool. Oh yeah, this one. 10 points if you can figure out what this is. Let's move on. Mm-hmm. 20th. Yeah. That's the wrong one. All right. Well, we are not starting out with that lovely marble that I made. Super sucks. Let's see. It's got to be this one. Ah, that's what it is. I didn't duplicate the material. So let's say texture 1. Let's go and select the face. Or actually, let's select the material. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Easier than I thought. All right, how you doing? Today I'm going to do some sculpting. Last time I was out live, I ended up with this. And I was surprised. So I thought I would try to do this again today and see if I could get something fun and interesting out of this deal. And since then, I've been kind of, a little inspired. And I've gone over here and posted a couple more things. So that was about a week ago. Yeah, face is a little weird. Posted some of this stuff and some more process. And we're going to walk through process again today and just get some control over this crazy thing called sculpting and see if we can't, demonstrate the power of one of the core principles that that we hold at Vertex. And this is really an important thing for me that all my everybody who works there is of the same mindset, and that's that mastery is not magic, it's process. You just have to know the process. You have to know the process, and then you have to execute on the process. And that's the part that takes time and can be problematic. Um, you know, this model still kind of blows me away. I threw this model away like 4 years ago. I thought this model kind of sucked. But I look at this now, 4 years later, and it's like, oh, it actually looks professional. Looks like a cool model. Um, it's so important to render these things in material, because it just gets you outside of the ZBrush world and outside of your ZBrush head. And now you start to actually see it as something that could exist in a museum, to some extent. So we're going to just talk about sculpting today, see what kind of trouble we can get into. I'm going to start from scratch like I did before so you guys can see the generalized. You know what? No, I'm not going to start from scratch. I'm going to start from the base head I did before. So I'm going to come all the way back here to this version as soon as this comes through. Sculpt a little boy. That was fun. Still needs more work. I don't know why that's taking forever. So we will come in here, and I want 20, and I want that one. Hey, Pitar. Arthur. How you doing? Okay. There you go. That's what I finished up last time. And so we're going to start this process over again. You can see it all starts with something like this. And then we were left literally right here in the last video that I did live. And then this is all work to refine the surface. And then, you know, on from there. So we're going to start over. Now that we've got this, I'm going to actually clone this piece. This is a nice simple base for me to start with. And I'm going to kind of just see where this goes. I'm going to see if there's something kind of interesting or exciting that I can work with. And I don't think my audio is coming through. So I got Opera on. Don't ask me why. We'll just leave that Opera there. But let me make sure I can see your guys' comments. Okay. Where should we sculpt? Any thoughts? I'm going to use my ball stylus here. I'm going to increase my embed. There you go. This infraorbital margin, very important line. But I'm feeling a little tricksy. Hey, Ted. So again, you know, process is power. You know how they used to say knowledge is power? If you're old enough, that's what they used to say. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is potential power, man. It's not actual power. You have to execute. And that execution is the bitch. That's the part that's hard. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for a character. Pitar, I just saw that. Sculpting with AI. It's what I was doing, and what I'm hoping to kind of document a little bit for people is using AI to generate concepts and then building those concepts. But AI doesn't understand anatomy at the same level like yet. So in my experiment, it was like it was a little rough on me. So who is this guy? Michelangelo looked into the stone to find and just revealed what was there. I'm going to find the soul of this character. What is it? What is his name? Trying different facial elements. This is a really important shape I'm dealing with right there. This is something people miss a lot. The placement of the maxilla, the facial plane. You see how that creates? You can actually start to feel, I can feel an actor actually here. I feel like that is actually taking me somewhere I want to go. Okay, I'm going to try to move that barrel of the mouth out a little bit and make sure I don't go too crazy. This is all just, I'm pulling from imagination here, folks. Sculpting from imagination. No, I don't like that. There's something I like about that. So I'm not going to pull that out too far. Do I want the chin in or out? Ooh. Who should we sculpt? Let's take care. We got this view. I kind of like this pugnaciousness. I'm going to flatten that forehead a little bit, make it a little bit more masculine. I'm going to work from the front view to see, do I want to do a pointy head? Definitely to do a pointier head. Notice how I'm working with this cranial space and how that's fitting into the facial wedge. Start messing with the facial wedge. Why the long face? That is more interesting, but I actually kind of like that. There's something I like about that. Lift the nose. Cool. It's all simple planes. Let me show you guys something real quick. Who do you study for anatomy? I'd love to know. Oh, actually, I want to look here. Let me see if I can show you this 5 volumes of the face. That's the anatomy. There we go. But that's again his anatomy representation. This is what we need to see. This this is incredibly important information here. Um, what this does, I've been using this as I've been going through here. You've got the forehead as a square volume. Notice the square volume of the forehead. Okay, and you come in here, you can see I've kind of built that. All right, little bit of a wedge, but square. Cheekbone region, which is flat, so you can see, he's establishing this flattish cheekbone region. You can see it really clearly here. And of course, this is an ethnic thing. It kind of differs in ethnicities in terms of whether it's flat or whatnot, but it's a construction. And so I've kind of indicated that to some extent. And if you look, you can see it's a pretty clear plane there, right? And then the erect cylindrical form of the what really forms the mouth and the maxilla, and it's right here. It's this cylindrical shape right there. Really cool. And then there is the triangular form of the jaw. Notice how, there's a lot more to what Bridgman's talking about here than, meets the eye. There's the wedge, and, the cylindrical area comes in and it's actually going into the buccinator. Buccal fat is in this region, but you see, like, there's this beautiful blending of anatomy, form, structure, all that stuff that's happening there. So all of that is here, except for I haven't got the buccinator section, so I'm going to try that right now. And maybe I'm going to go like that. I think I kind of screwed that up. But let's see. I think by making a decision or trying to put the structure in there, I might be actually forcing decisions I don't really want to make right now. It's one of the advantages of leaving it loose. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to leave it loose. I don't want that decision made right now. Yeah. Bridgman. Saticus, I don't know whether to be offended or literally go in and rename all of my Instagram posts. Yes, I have to rename them now. Okay. This just had to be done. Okay. Thank you for that. Ashley, hey. Mountains of Anatomy books. My current is, I don't know this one. Symblet, I know. I don't find Symblet as useful. unfortunately. I want to, because beautiful draftsmanship. Bridgman, Hogarth, Lanteri is the most. Like, Lanteri is a rock star. Somebody needs to inherit him. Yes, I know the first guy. Okay, great. Cool. Alright, so let's see where we are. I'm going to come in. Why am I always making unhappy people? Do you see how much character comes, like, right away? I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. I don't know if it makes sense to me. But so much character comes. I don't have it yet. I need some contrast. Should we do a Javier Marin? Yes. Let's do a Javier Marin. This stays relatively consistent. Do you guys know who Javier Marin is? Probably sounds weird. Still anchors right there. Hey Ruben, how you doing? I try weekly, but every time I say I'm gonna try that, I don't. It screws it up. So I don't know. I'd stream more often, but it's just school's been very full frontal organization. That goes all the way up here. It starts pulling out. How do I make this even more exaggerated? blowing you kisses. Trying to understand the structure. You know, what is the anatomical parts? I don't know if you guys know this, but the lip is actually composed of 4 individual muscles. They call it the orbicularis oris, but you know, it's four individual muscles, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they're tied together here, and then they're tied together on the side in the nodules. And so they behave differently, very differently. Not like the eye. The eye is one muscle with the fibers moving all the way around, and really just one kind of division right here as they connect into the bone. But with the mouth being able to be these 4 distinct pieces, that's one. You know, of course I got a beard on. I don't know how much you can actually see, but you can do lots of movement. That's a little bit different, you know, than what you can do with the eye, because it's not a true sphincter muscle like the eye is. It's this collection, right? So I'm gonna mute my mic here so you don't hear me going. And I'm trying to find out where the form breaks, because there is a marionette line right here. If you're looking at my sculpt, that's a marionette line. That marionette line determines who's on top, who's on bottom. That determines how the upper lip is on top, lower lip is on, you know, bottom, of course. But what I mean by that is in the insertion, the fibers of the upper lip go above and over. The lower lip tucks under and behind. So these are the different layers. So I need to find the layers and how they behave. All right, I think I have it. Right now I am dividing and conquering. This is a big part of what I like to teach in anatomy. When you sculpt is you need to start to find where forms divide, and you have to start to create these divisions. I'm not picking my... Oh, let me just get that. I'm not picking my nose. The form has an interesting division right here. The lower lip does, like I said, it has these 4 separate pieces, but what I like to do a lot, you know, is draw this line that goes right here, because the muscle fibers here are turning in. There's muscle fibers like this. This is how I like to see the division. Let's divide this in pen A, make a pen black. So let's just make this a little bit easier for you. Muscle fibers, and then muscle fibers. You see the division? Kind of like a mustache. It's kind of how it works. A little dramatic, you know, there on my part. But anyways. And I'll go straight back like that. Mm-hmm. Hey Renee, how you doing? How's the sculpting? Lips are a little small. Trying to find the planes, and I do it by feel. That's how I got my wife to marry me. I just would touch and be like, I just gotta feel the planes. Ah, don't put too much anatomy in. Ah, you seen the Javier? His figures that blow? The trumpets, I forget what they're called. Such a fan of him. I'm gonna use damn standard brush, but set that modifier to 0. Interesting, my daughter is gonna be playing trumpet. That was the instrument she picked. Do I wanna? No. Do I wanna pull that forward? No. That's a visceral reaction I had to that. Gonna open up the ball of the nose there. That's kind of weird. This is an interesting thing I'm doing here. I'm not sure if this makes sense to you guys. But there's a particular way you build form where you sculpt down the form and then you sculpt across it. Cool. I'm there. I don't know if I want this to be a dude. What happens if I make this a kid? Carve away the glabella. Lift the nose. Big cranial space. Put all that stuff deep inside. And smaller lips, smaller chin. Less developed. Does it look like a kid? Glibinarium? What's the purpose of the down then across approach? It's just the cleanest way to get form. Like you just get it in as few strokes as possible. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the baby or not. I'm going to continue with this one though. I might do the baby later. Let's see if we can't find some character in her eyes, or his or their eyes. I don't know what gender that is yet. Okay. Get some eyebrows. What time is it? 5 o'clock. Should I try to get this all the way to bronze? What do you guys think? Yeah, this is going to be full sculpted. Let's go in here and see if we can't put some detail back in these eyes. I always like to kind of dig this out. It's not in everybody, and it's definitely not to this degree, but it's kind of nice. Doesn't take much, does it? Having to push that. Builds there, builds there. Something very graphical about that. Oh, my arm. Alright, let's see if I can build something here. Where's this going? Where's my snake hook? Right there. Whatever. This is weird. Something is coming from this. I don't know what. So let's keep working. I'm going to need to take a break here in a second. Alright. Let's leave it there. And I'm going to put this just as testing the audio. Alright. Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break. That showed the entire wrong screen. Mix cam. Sorry. All right, I'm back from the break. Let me get some of this water. All right, where are we going with this? I don't know. But it's something, right? Something's happened. And I mentioned this on the last podcast. I remember this poet talking about, in writing, about um, how they could hear a poem coming. I don't know if you guys know, but my background is actually in poetry. My education, sorry. My degree is in poetry, of all things. So is this going to be like a normal person? Like that? Maybe a female. We get. It does look like somebody riding a bike, Noel. But blowing. So something. It's going to be like that. I don't know if it is that. Not pretty straight on. I don't know. Where does this go? Snake hook. Preferences draw. Let me set this to 2. Yeah. Yep, I think you're right. Alright, I wasn't prepared for this. Yeah, I think that'll work okay. I'm gonna dynamic subdivision this. I'm gonna, if I divide this, it gets too soft, so I'm gonna quickly do this. Set this to 3, 1, 2. Set that to 10. No, what was it that I have to do? Coverage. There we go. This is the coverage about right there. I want kind of a soft little piece like that, and then I'm going to apply it. And obviously I don't want to sculpt with this kind of crappy geometry. So I'll dynamesh it. Come on. That's alright, fine. Seems like a bit much. Alright, I'm going to turn this into I'm going to turn this into an insert multi-mesh brush. So create insert mesh brush, say new, whatever, and no geometry levels. Okay. Let's check some measurements now. It's about one head. Okay, so I'm going to set this preference. Transpose units, set that to 1. Okay, then I'm going to go 1 down to 2. That's the nipple line. So I need to move that body up. Belly button should be right there. Okay, belly button, and then that's going to leave me roughly a seat of 1. Okay, yeah. I'm going to move her seat down a little bit, as in, and by seat I mean butt. And I'm going to move these guys down a bit. Find my great trochanter, just about right there. I'm going to go out. The way this would work anatomically speaking, you find the great trochanter, it's actually probably a little bit right there. And if somebody was standing up, wherever that great trochanter is, the 2 head mark would be the bottom of the knee, and then somebody's foot would come in, and so this would all be, you know, leg basically. Right down there. Of course, I murdered that. You gotta come down. There you go. So right there's the 2. So when somebody bends their knee like this, this changes, because when somebody bends their knee, that what's right there, that tibial tuberosity, it swings down. And so it actually gets closer to about 1.75 length. I'll say right there's just probably that tibialis anterior. There. Okay, and then I need to do the lower leg. So I'm going to just draw that out. Rotate. Control. Is it shift? Is it control? No, it's W. And then that. I don't feel confident in that. Let's go auto group. Don't dynamesh it. Okay, group visible. Group visible. There. Let's get these guys kind of largely positioned. but. Can you see how that starts to actually be something? I'm gonna use auto masking, mask by polygroup, so I can treat these differently. Okay, tibial tuberosity, about right there, down to 2, right there. Alright, so I made a bit of a mistake. I should have put the blocks in, but let's do this. Control. Crash. And it's 5:30. So, that's going to be our time. Okay, 7% CPU, 0.2 megabytes of memory, so we are screwed. I'll wait to see if it's even going to save anything. Hey, E-stars. Cannot believe I didn't think to save it. Close the program. Yay! Let's do this. Let's load. Yeah, E-stars could go multiple ways. It's going. Oh, sorry. That's not what we wanted. You remember that drawing of Picasso? There was some drawing Picasso made where he did different levels of simplicity and complexity. So there could be something happening here. Like I can see somebody writing, but it's not what I want. There's something else. And is it the hair? Let's save this now. Where do we go with this character that's blowing in the wind? I really don't like their pen A brush, or their pen shadow brush. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. What do you think? Something weird there. Oh, I forget when I'm in Quick Sketch. I actually forget I'm still in ZBrush. Let's go here and set these all back and get rid of that stuff. So what happens if we open her eyes? Looking a little bug-eyed. Did I have Dynamesh on? No, good. That's starting to make a little bit, like, it's less specific, I think. Although, you know. I'll try. thinking of something here. Let's save this if I'm going to start experimenting. Oh, I lost my model, my brush. Okay. So, initialize cube. Okay. Geometry, dynamic subdiv, cube grid of 1, increase the coverage to make it soft, apply, and then dynamesh it so that it's even distribution of vertices. Okay, and then so now I need to decide how I want it to apply. I want it to apply like that. So then I'll go brush, create, insert mesh, say new, and why don't I just save this brush? I don't want to save it there. Let's say startup, brush presets, and clay tube. Oh, that's dumb. There is a clay tube brush. Clay insert clay block. Huh? Oh. Duh. Don't do that for all. I think my transpose unit got all jacked up. That's about accurate. Yeah. So that would be 2.75. Let's just confirm real quick that that is still within range. Yeah, that's 2. 2, that means I gotta go to 0.75 times 2 is 1.5, so that's right where the acromial process is, or the clavicle ends. The acromial process is out of that. So I'm going to scoot that over just a little bit. Like that. Yeah, that's wiser. So the clavicle will end, the acromial process, basically, just so you know, in case you want some anatomy, since she's sitting here this whole time with me, 0.75, about right there. That's the end of the clavicle, supposedly. The acromial process comes out from that, and then I like to think of the acromial process as like, midpoint. So it means the head of the humerus will be right there. And if the head of the humerus is there, I like equidistant on both sides so that I can, add a little bit for the deltoid, trim a little bit here, and then add a little bit here for the tricep. Not that this model is going to get much of that. And then you want the arm itself, like let's say from the acromial process down, you want it to be to the elbow 1.5, and so this is using a multiplier of 2 right now, so 3. Perfect. I'm a professional. Let's go control, click and drag, and I'll just put it right in there. And let's use rotate. try something real quick. Actually, that's too much. And I'll move that right inside the thigh, and I'm going to try to pose this. I have to be careful here because once they combine, it's like insane to get them apart. Oh. Doesn't that look clunky as hell? Oh, we gotta resolve that. Let's go polygroup, auto group. I'm not worried about all that crazy geometry. I'll show you why. Just gonna hang the musculature there. See how it all works in my favor? Okay, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that right now. I'm gonna keep that end of the knee pretty much jagged like that. make sure everything sits. Draw, set that to 3. That does not look good. Alright, so we have enough information there now, at least I do, to start deleting information. I don't know about you, but these don't make any difference to me. Yeah, this works. For now. Delete, close holes. Cool. And I think I have my positions relatively correct, so let's work on if I'm going to do breasts or not. No, no. Okay, pull that down. Sternum. And then a little bit of the pectoralis. Ooh, get that bony landmark. Where's my clavicle? What's the measurement? 1.5 right there. I'll try to close it nice like that. There we go. Get a nice bow. There should definitely be a bowing. And this is obviously quite huge. carving a little shape. I want that trapezius right there. Spine of the scapula. Scapular mass. C7. Get that scapular mass to raise up, especially in a thin individual. Separated. I moved it a little too close. There. It's gonna. Okay. Just like that. There we go. And let's dynamesh this. Gonna put that insertion right there in the middle and build around it. I'm gonna try to avoid getting caught up in anatomy though. Right now, this is not about anatomy. And anatomy has a tendency to just take over any conversation that it gets involved in. Long strokes. There's some form I need to fix, but first I need it to all be a little bit more coherent. That cube is not the best idea. Take a second and raise this back because it's bent. So I want to raise that a little bit, not so much as it is. But I'm working from imagination right now, so it's risky. I'm going to have to deal with thickness and all that stuff later. Just try to get a general sense of things. Scapula's gonna move up. Yeah. Alejandro, proportions are the biggest problem, although I'm actually looking at planes right now, actually. Trying to get that plane break. And I'll probably have to go get some reference before I feel at all comfortable. But when I come in here and I do these Pez sculpts, as they were called recently, by who? I like to keep things simple. All right, and the breasts too, right? Like, in breasts are, I don't know, it's like a catch-22. You know, you put them in there, and then if you leave them lumpy, it's like, it's just so noticeable, you know? Um, and then so you got to kind of go in and get these guys going. So then now you're sculpting breasts. And I'm not really into doing that right now. But I do need to get a bit of the angle. Ugh. Enough for now. And turn perspective off. There you go. Clip this. I feel like manubrium. Oh. Alright, we'll worry about that a little later. Okay, and that. There we go. There we go. That's a nice plane break. That's a nice plane break. What else do we do? Save it. DJD799. Thank you, my friend. Game design diploma. Awesome, man. Congrats. Good luck out there. But feeling creatively drained and lacking self-confidence. Welcome. Welcome. I have been here very long. I got 3 rules that I don't understand myself, but they sound really cool. You want to hear them? You want me to tell you my 3 rules? Hey, Redsy. Glad you're learning something. I'm glad it's satisfying. Sometimes I feel like this is kind of potentially uber boring. Oh man, she's got some shoulders on her, man. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to sweat all that yet. I like where this is going. It looks like a carefree ride in the morning. Probably no traffic. Kind of dangerous. Yeah, I'm not comfortable where that face is, though. And I don't have symmetry anymore, man. Ugh. I'm going to try inflate and see. No, it just makes everything thicker. Every time I move these, it's like they feel more right, you know, so it's like I'm being too conservative. But that's, I guess, normal. At least it's normal for me. And then what happens? I'm going to have to look at some Javier Marin here. Let's see if we can learn Javier Marin's secret. I'm surprised the kids aren't home. Nobody's come up. We can try some modifications for that, I think. Yeah, he really pushes, exaggerates this whole thing, and he has the mouth in this sphincter kind of shape. I'm going to try that. This, by the way, is one of my favorite sculptors on the planet, has been since I first laid eyes on him like 15 plus years ago, I think. And if I remember right, he ties a knot around the form. It's actually no corner, because you can't have a corner with that. All the forms are compressed so tight. probably not going to work once I do it. It'll probably be like, too forced. But I'm just sculpting today. So the live stream, if I remember correctly, said sculpting with Ryan. That's me. Whatever. I didn't promise you anything. Actually, it kind of works. I mean, I think I have to adjust it. But that's the trick. Into the juggle groove. I don't know about that. But this could definitely be done differently. That's it. Get rid of that corner. Get rid of this shape here. That just became this. Do that again. Delete. I think the family's back home. Alright, I'm going to have to leave you guys soon. I can buy this. It's not as dramatic as that. And this one's kind of, oh, my nose, loosey-poosey. Thanks, C-Stars. Jason, yeah, yeah, the way he does hair is you actually have to model the coils. All right, so I know, I I'm not muted now. All right, let's see if I can get this thing into Marmoset, and then I'm gonna call it a day. That's the limit. Can I get this into Marmoset? So I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna clone this so I can work on just this, and I'm gonna create two versions of it. So this one I'm gonna do divide, and I'm just gonna export it as the high. Okay, head high. Okay, I'm gonna go into this one and decimate this. Okay. I'm gonna set this at 10 and see if I still keep everything. So, oh, beautiful. 80,000 and I've kept everything. That's gonna be much easier with UV Master. So I'll come in here with UV Master. I'm gonna enable a control painting. And attract a seam. Okay. Unwrap. I gotta stretch here. I've been sitting at the desk all day. So what have you been up to, East Artist? It's been, I mean, I haven't streamed in a long time, so haven't seen your name for a bit. Let's check. That's fine. I'm going to go with the latest. Okay. So I'm going to use this guy. Let's turn focus off. I actually don't know how to turn the focus off. Alright, well, we'll work with that. Okay, so I'm going to just try this head first. So I'm going to import the model. Who's got kids here? Uh, what just happened? Am I inside the head? Aisha, my daughter's writing from, now I understand what you're saying, baby. Uh, Thank you. Okay, so this is a problem. Let me try it one more time. Okay. New scene. There you go. I'm going to go in Marmoset. I'm going to go into show the scale reference. And then I'll go into scene and import and set that to, is it meter or is it millimeter? I forget which one. Feet. Okay. So that works. But what about the rest of this? Let me go back here, and it's going to be much easier if I can do this, but otherwise I'll have to export it. So, how was class today? Aish. Show scale reference. Okay, so let's go scene, and import is set to feet. Let's go render. Ah, it just went to frame 1. What? Frame 1. Alright, that was a dumb misunderstanding. Marmoset. Maybe we could rethink that. And let's go into our sky. Oh, sky's animated too. Okay. There we go. This head I don't want to see. I want to see that head. So let's put that in the low and import our bake. Okay, and I'm gonna name this with today. So this is me. I'm just creating like one-off renders. There's nothing special about this, and I'm actually using Marmoset for everything here. Literally all the texturings, all Marmoset. No substance, nothing like that. Let's go bake. Oh, no. Let's save this. So save the scene as, get it in the right directory, and then I can do that. 72822-01. Thanks, Joaquin. Was it really good, Aisha? Was class really good, or was it like so good, or like which one of those is it? Big. Got to check the maps. It sometimes I've had problems with the maps. Maps are good. Throw the bronze on there, and it's showing the wrong map. So I'm going to go into the texture. I'm going to go into the layers and make sure, I don't know which one it is. Is it that one? Yeah, it's showing the wrong texture. So I'm going to come over here and use the curvature, AO, and normal. There we go. Back into our classical. Sweet. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So this, if I go to texture, just so you guys can see, I'm not gonna go into like how you create it and all that, because sometimes that is a little confusing to me. But I don't know. The other day it just hit me. It was just like this is the way to do this quickly. So I think it's the bronze antique. Okay, let me just hide this stuff. It's the bronze antique, and then I desaturate it with a desaturation layer. Okay, that actually gives me a little bit of warms on the side. So it's not fully desaturated. You can see that it's desaturated to about 0.2. Okay, and then there is a fill layer. And the fill layer has a black mask on it that's using curvature. Then I put in a red, and the red had a black mask that's using occlusion. Okay, and then I add in, I don't know what that is. Oh, I think here I was painting the nose to have less roughness. And that was special to the other model. It's not really relevant to what we do here. But there you go. Let's continue on our way. I can get rid of that. This is actually really fun too. Let me look at this guy. Which texture project is that? I think that's the head, yeah. Look at that. Look at that marble. And then I gave it, because Bellelis, Dom, like all these guys are doing this, these really cool gold things. So I was like, I gotta kind of join the club. I mean, they can't have all the fun. But it's pretty neat. And so this is actually marble statue. Don't tell anybody I told you, or the secret's out. It's like, it's here. You just grab it right off a Marmoset, you put it in. And then I threw a curvature layer in to do some of the extra work, and then an ash on top. But the ash is only the normal map, just adding some micro detail. I just found that I liked the micro detail of that. That is actually gorgeous. So we're going to use one or the other of these. I don't know which one. But let's do it. Let's finish this off. So now I need the helmet. The helmet, I'm actually just going to take it straight. So helmet low. Okay, I'm going to import that helmet low just as it is. And then I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to put one on the, and let's get rid of the high there, and let's move the head out. And I'm just going to put them both right there in the bake. And then say helmet. And just gotta check. It's giving me nothing. I need something. I want something in that. So let me try something really quick. I'm going to clone this into its own piece. I'm going to duplicate it. And so let's look at this. I'm going to divide that. I just need some variation in it. So maybe a clay polish. Maximum curvature 50. I can never remember. Ofer described this to me once, and I just can't. I don't remember what it actually does. Let's try that. Okay, so we'll call this high. Where's Photoshop? Yeah, it did nothing. The map is absolutely blank. So okay. Nothing to. Don't tell anybody what I did. Thanks, East Artist. Alright, so now it actually helps if you have UVs, right? Substance Painter will warn you. You literally can't even import it. There's all kinds of problems. Or actually now they import the UVs. Or they actually can generate the UVs. So that's all good. Let's do bake now. Okay. All right. So now I need to take face, and I'm going to duplicate this. So we're going to call that helmet. And I need to go into layers, and I'm going to, can I duplicate this? Yes. Head, Control D, helmet. Okay, so I'm selecting helmet, and I'm going to assign the helmet one, and it's assigning it. You might miss it, but it's because I have helmet selected that it's then assigned it over here. So let's just get the proper curves. Normal, AO. Okay, and then just make sure it's applied. Apply. I screwed something up. What did I screw up? Okay, so helmet. We have the helmet layer. Okay, it's using the proper map. I come into the face, and the helmet is here. Does it make a difference if I add? All right, let's start this again. Okay. All right, so now let's hide the helmet. And we're going to work just with the face. So I'm going to right click and say select material. We're using face. Okay. So I'm going to go into my layers, and in this case, I'm going to put head layer. It doesn't want to work. Now it wants to work. Alright, well, I'm going to chalk that up to something crazy. Head helm, and I'm going to save the damn thing. Excuse my language, Aisha. Okay. That's looking kind of neat. Let's turn render. I'm not using ray trace. So why is it doing that? Oh, it's the camera has no. All right, well, whatever it is. So now I'm gonna go through and do the rest. So we will take this one. I'm gonna clone that. Duplicate. Okay, so this one I'm going to do this and a little clay polish. Alright, so I'm going to export that. I call that body high. Go down. And this is pretty low res already, so I should be fine. I'm going to be a little... let's just do it. Sometimes when it goes above 100,000, it actually starts to take like too long. So while that's working, I'm going to go back to my lighting. I don't know which one I like better, but I'm going to go with marble right now. Yeah, see, it's taking that little bit of extra time. Whereas when we had 86,000, it was just like ripping through it. Oh no! Done. That is nasty. I'm going to export this, or I started on unwrapping. Delete the helmet, move helmet out of that. Bake body. Alright, let's see if we get in trouble again by for duplicating that. And I'm going to select that material. Okay. Then I'm going to select the body, texture, layers. Okay. And body curve, body normal, body AO. Yeah, that's a bug. Okay, cool. So the helmet. And I can't remember how we resolved this, but let's keep progressing. Hair low. Hair low. Get rid of the body high. And I'll just do that to itself. Okay. Bake. Okay. Alright, so now we need to fix the helmet. And let's say, select the material. Yes, it's helmet. Layers. We go into helmet. There. Just has to be reloaded. Okay, cool. Alright, so now go to the body. And I will duplicate the body. And that'll be called hair. Okay. Hair curve. Hair normal. Hair AO. Okay. And if I select the hair, select the material. Matte. Alright. There we go. Alright, so now I just got to go back into the body. Go back to the body there. Okay. Worked it all out. And let's take our base. It's a little boring. This is why I like to get it into a material. See if it's actually exciting or not, right? And it's not exciting enough yet for me. It's interesting, but kind of boring. So does it look more exciting if I start putting bronze on it? And so I'll actually just throw the face bronze all over it, even though it's not matched. Hmm. It's lost something. But this is the process. I think it's this realism of the shirt. What do you think? What do you think? Joaquin wants the blonde, the bronze, the blonde, the bronze. Blah. Unreal freedom. Ain't it true? Joaquin, I don't know, Marmoset, can't you use the same material in all objects and still have it take... the problem with the material, Joaquin, the reason why we're doing it is because I'm using features that need maps, just like Substance Painter. So the maps have to be on, and I'm doing this like really low rent, right? Like I'm not doing any production stuff. I'm not merging. I'm just doing super low rent work. All right. I don't know. I'm not excited by this. Something has to change. This is one of the reasons why nudes are kind of still relevant to me. Um, is that there's just something in the figure. As you start to modernize it, you start to change it. But I'm going to go with adjusting this base. And we're back. We're back to our Pez heads. But you really need some subsurface scattering in that. Marmoset is a referencer, meaning you can keep changing things. It'll constantly bring back that one. It'll constantly bring whatever you make it. So let's just return it. Hair, yellow, low. Can I export this base? Fair enough. All right, now I'm not dealing with that problem. Marmoset had one scale, Zebra had another scale, and their scales just were not lined up. And what is going on with my light? Why do you keep blowing out? Tell me that is not still keyed. It is still keyed, that's why. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I know, I just started making something and it just kind of was cool for a while. Oh, neat. What do I do? Let me take a look at this face material. Where do I put the subsurface? Where did they move that? It should be right here. Transmission. Actually, volumetric scattering. Wireframe. Oh, sorry. Show scale reference. So which one's that's the face? Let's turn hair off. Helmet off. Okay, so do I want that? Or do I want subsurface? No, I want volumetric. I can't hear you. What was the face? 2. Settle on 2. Helmet. Oh, it's not that actual one. It's this guy. Okay, helmet. Transmission. Volumetric. and that should be enough for now. Now I could probably go in and play a little bit more if I wanted to with some of the texturing features. So if I go into the head, I go into the curvature. Let's see if we want to increase that. Especially for this model. I don't like those eyebrows, but I'm gonna live. Hair. No, hair matte. Body hair. Curvature layer. Increase the intensity. Looks like I don't use that at all. Helmet. Okay, classic setup. Light number 3. Light number 4. Light number 5. What is this light right here? Oh, it's not on. I'm never coming down.
Okay.
I'm going to... What?
Can they hear you?
Yes, they can hear me. And they hear you. It's looking a little derivative. Do you ever like sit there and think like, it's just derivative. I don't know about this. Let's try to get some drama. Oh, it's kind of interesting. I actually like that light a lot better. Casts a nice shadow. I think I want that to be a morning light. Yeah. I think I want that to be warm. And I want that angle to be just on the face. In fact, actually, I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to create another one right there. Make sure I set that. Make sure all these lights have a proper diameter. Actually, I don't even know what the proper diameter is. Four. Four. That's better. Well, I'm going to save this team, and I'm going to call it a day. I've been streaming for a long time. But, you know, we made this. I don't know what that means. But that's pretty cool. I guess we'll see what it looks like, and I'll probably try it in bronze as well. But, you know, we suffered a crash. We made this thing, and now we have an image. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I don't know, just want to see how much of... Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Joaquin, talking about the appeal to the figure made me think of Michelangelo's quote at the start of Stephen Peck's Anatomy for Artists. What's the quote? Oh, he's over here. That's weird. Stephen Rogers Peck's all usually right next to me. Where'd he go? We have Len Terry. Stephen Rogers Peck's not somebody you screw around with. Oh, that's sad. Literally is like with me all the time. Might be downstairs. That does not make me happy. What's the quote, though? Oh, you tell me the quote. And who is so barbarous as to not understand that the foot of a man is nobler than the shoe? Yes, absolutely. If you had a ZBrush tool like a star or a torus or a template with a cube, if you had a ZBrush tool like a star and replace with the cube, it works. Should have worked, but I'll try what you say later. Alejandro, when I see your art, I remember Glenn Villepeu. Oh, I love Glenn. All right. Well, this is like what, an hour-long sketch, and we get to put it into marble. The AO is a little intense. Is there some AO on this in the render? Oh, okay. Yeah, get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay, there we go. Don't need that. But I will put localized diffuse. And we're stealing from Dom Quack here. with this texturing and having fun. All right, have an awesome day, team, and thanks for being here for watching this. I hope you got to see something about the process, and let me know if you want me to keep doing these. I don't have any big ambitions with the artwork. I literally just want to see what happens, and I want to move clay, build form. That's the most important part for me, is actually building form. This I need to go in and do second layer of form though. Yeah, there's like all kinds of nuances I could kind of flesh out in there. It's such a gift to just be able to sculpt and not have the smell of oil. Joaquin, thanks, my friend. All right, Unreal Freedom. Enjoy the rest of your freedom. All right, take care.